that's a really important thing, and we're going to be seeing just that right now. We are about to drop into our second game here. We already have the results from the first game in. Let's see what these players can do for the second one. All of these scores are going to be cumulative. Second game out of 3, taking a look at the map right now. What are you thinking with this? Where do you think the first safe zone is going to be?
It looked like a little bit of widespread. I didn't see too many people in the southeast corner, so I'm gonna call, instead of calling where it's going, I'm gonna call where it's not going. It's not going southeast, and then it's probably gonna go there just to make me look like I don't know what I'm talking about.
All right, so it's going southeast. Now we are going to be jumping on right now. We are in that looting phase. As you already did see in the first game, 2 players very close here. Maybe even going in for the fight is going to be Keviel and Candyvan. Candyvan taking a few shots here, able to jump onto the ATV. Not going to have any additional cover from that vehicle, but it doesn't look like he had a weapon to be in this fight either. Going to use that ATV to try to put some distance in between him and the other player here.
Yeah, that's a rough start. You get a 2-hit, you're feeling great, and then somebody else is landed right next to you, and you end up getting it ripped apart. Razar here, having to leave a little bit of ammo there behind. He has found a 2-hit so far, which is a great feeling, but hasn't found a backpack. You absolutely need one of those to have enough resources to make it through. You can't carry any extra helmets. Not having an extra helmet in this, with this level of play, will get you murdered.
Right now, T-Hump just being fully set here with a helmet and also getting this early police car. Going to be moving around right now. Already seeing a decent amount of ammo as well, just getting some rifles into that inventory. Moving into the building here, making sure nobody is inside, but still this fight is going to be going on, and ultimately Candyvan is going to go down. Tried to get away on that ATV when we first jumped into that fight, and ultimately was not able to find that space or a weapon to compete, and that is going to be our first blood.
Yeah, Kevy, knowing that he was ahead, knowing that the other player probably didn't have enough time to get a ton of loot, he did already take some shots. He may not have had a med kit. He may not have been able to get to 100%. Kevy deciding to play aggressive and chase that kill down. And now we've got JP looking fairly looted. He's already gotten enough to start scrapping and making makeshifts, and he is going to go ahead and hop onto that ATV and get out of there as Calsey tries to throw a couple shots at his back, but not able to connect.
Much faster paced game right now just due to the breaks. So we're going to see those early kills, but expect it to slow down just a little bit here, and now we are going to see that safe zone.
That safe zone is going to be directly south, not quite off the map though, so we are going to have all of Cranberry and all of PV on there to start. It will most likely start cutting one or the other out on the next circle, and then we'll be able to see where it starts to center on.
Exactly, and these players are going to have to start rotating. You can see Cloak all the way up by Misty Peak Reservoir right now.
A lot of loot up there.
Yeah, so that's a huge thing for Cloak. I mean, he can kind of get that loot right now, and he's one of those players that knows exactly how much time it's going to take him to traverse back down to civilization here and get into the fight. And I feel like he's also one of those players that can thrive from potentially riding the gas, crashing in, picking off some easy kills with his sharpshooting.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, there's enough vehicles up there. He knows that there's 3 to 4 vehicle spawns in the area, ATVs, cop cars, and then there's a ton between him as he goes to head southwest. There's just a ton of them out there at the farms and different spots. So most likely, seeing how there was nobody else up there, he will get himself a vehicle. He'll be in a good spot. He'll be able to stop off at one of the gas stations possibly as well and try and grab some gas cans.
One of the things that we haven't really noted today, we have done 3 tournaments, and we have seen this play out in all of them. Huge changes coming in with vehicles, not necessarily going to be spawning with that fuel, with those gas tanks. So you actually need to go out and loot those gas tanks, Supersonic.
Yeah, you need to actually find them. So you're going to have to grab them either out of the airdrops, or you'll have to grab them at the gas stations. Those are your only 2 locations you're going to be able to get those gas cans now. They are no longer in the vehicles, though the vehicles do spawn with 100% gas in them. So it's almost like they had the gas can in them to begin with. But it's just already been used on that vehicle, where typically you would hold on to it, because if your car starts getting beat up, you'd want to transfer and use that gas can for the next car. So taking the gas out does make more of the cars not make it to the end game, but
that's the big thing that it really does affect, is going to be that end game. And also some of those POIs are going to go up in value just a little bit if they can spawn that gas tank. Right now, Pineapples does have a vehicle of his very own, though. He is inside of that Jeep.
Yep, he's going to have that patriotic Jeep skin, the Murica skin. Got Nightwalker out there in the background driving around as well. Looks like he's got a pickup truck of his own there. And these guys are just going to kind of disengage from each other. They have no intention of wanting to take a fight. They have no beef with each other yet. Rogue here and Moman hanging out in Cranberry over on the west side of it. Not quite sure how looted they are, but Looks like he's got at least an armor, a helmet, a shotgun, and a lot of AR ammo. So Rogue actually looking pretty kitted right now.
They also have a lot of space here in this early portion of the game to really get even more loot. But yeah, being kitted this early definitely going to be great because you can start to look for some of those fights to actually take away some resources from your opponent, continue to get that loot, and then all of a sudden you find yourself at a huge advantage when it does get to the late game. Still trying to figure out here as the gas does advance, though, where these players will be settling down. Going to take it relatively slow here. Gabe Ismont is going to be the player that we take a look at right now, trying to figure out his situation with his inventory.
Yeah, Gabe looking pretty well as all. Also, though, 270 rounds, 300 total, counting the 30 in his clip. Has the AR, has the AK. He's got everything he needs to try and make it to that later game. And he has an armor on already as well. Symphony also kitted up. You can see all these guys have already gone and gotten their makeshifts made. We saw a ton of guys without helmets. We saw guys yesterday without ever having an armor or a makeshift. These guys, almost every time we cut to one of these player cards on that new versus screen down at the bottom that the players are seeing, or the viewers are seeing at home, almost always has the armor on.
Yeah, it's been a huge factor here as well. And we can actually see how quickly they actually, like if the helmet gets popped, it's instantly going back on. We see additional makeshifts. Some players even opting to have a 2-hit on the ground, trying to protect that. Now shots going to rain out from Teenage. We actually did see Teenage in the first game taking some early fights as well, dealing some serious damage.
Yeah,
and
he
this
got one of the early kills last game.
Like very early, like first 3 kills. Teenage now still being in that aggressive position here early on in this game. Going to move that cop car into a little bit of cover there in between that tree and that ridge. A good move. You don't want too many shots coming into your cop car. You don't want anyone to steal it either. We've actually seen a little bit of back and forth right now with players actually just trying to steal each other's vehicles.
It's worked for some, and then some other ones have tried to go for it, and the other players just pump them in the forehead with a shotgun. So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but when you're in that close range, you just got to decide to make a play and commit.
A lot of the decision making too has actually been inside of these fights. If you really want to be sinking shots into the vehicle, or if you want to try to get the kill and then take the vehicle as your very own. A lot of the times though, when you do get in a fight like that, the other player going to be attempting to use the vehicle as cover usually gets below that threshold, going to be losing some of its handling, falling below 30, or it could actually get all the way to the point that it is actually on fire, and you're going to need to get rid of that vehicle anyway. So a lot of times you really just need to play the body more than you need to play the vehicle.
Yeah, absolutely. And we see Flamehopper, he was out there driving around a second ago in a pickup. Pickups flip a little easier than cop cars. Hopefully he has a little bit better run of luck with that car than he did with the cop car in the previous match. Sweet Dreams here. We can see him going ahead and picking up AK. You're seeing a lot of guys actually carrying AK. T-Hump there looks like he's actually injured a little bit. He may have been in a fight with Sweet, but you can see that he's already healing up, and he does have a new armor on.
Yeah, Sweet Dreams, once again, this was one of our champions recently, so Sweet Dreams definitely going to be a player to keep an eye on.
Yeah, we didn't see a lot of AK play on the previous patch at DreamHack, and we're seeing it a lot more, especially here with these guys. A lot of them are carrying the AK, especially trying to eat up vehicles with it.
Yeah, before you really saw a lot of that Magnum play into vehicles. We haven't seen much of the Magnum recently, though. I think we saw one Magnum actually trying to do some ripping through a police car in game number 1.
Yeah, we saw Mountain FPS swap an AK out for a Magnum to eat up one of the vehicles last game in the fairgrounds. Definitely an interesting use. You don't see people using the Magnum quite as often anymore. It used to be the only thing to use to take out vehicles. Everybody carried a Magnum. It was the vehicle slayer, and these two guys are going to collide. Calsey gonna go ahead and make the call to hop out and take some shots at Isco. Not able to get any connections though.
Not able to at all, and now Calsey going to be in full retreat. And we can see, as we actually do take a look right now, Aqua moving throughout the camp, Gabe Ismont moving throughout that building, just still trying to collect as much as they can. How long do you think that looting phase does typically last when we actually do watch our pro players go up against each other?
Looting phase is going to be anywhere from 5 to 7 minutes most likely. Then we're going to transfer to mid-game. Guys are going to start trying to make their way. Guys that started early in the safe zone most likely not going to move too far. They might try, especially with this safe zone, start moving towards the south side of PV, north side of Cranberry. You can kind of see them bunching up there on the north side of Cranberry so that when the next circle's announced, they have less distance to travel. However, when a lot of guys know that's the way to play, you end up with some people that end up in engagements that they weren't expecting or didn't want because they just end up on top of each other.
Carta letting some shots go down for Prodigy Aces. Not going to find much here at very far range, and this is one of those things that you actually do see out of players as well. aggressively defending their location. If they're in a good spot, you let a few shots out. You let everyone know, hey, I'm here. I'm not necessarily trying to take the fight right now, but if you get anywhere near me, I will do just that and take it. Now, we do have Blood Inferno and Teenage, both very, very uncomfortably aware of each other's location. Teenage, though, going to let some long-distance shots out, just like that Blood Inferno going to spot 50 Shades, trying to put in some shots there, but now connecting with Teenage.
Yeah, I mean, as you were saying, guys aggressively defend, and it's something we were talking about that went really well for players yesterday. The few guys that were aggressively defending their positions ended up making it a little bit farther into the matches. Being completely stagnant and just sitting in one position without doing anything typically doesn't do well once the circle closes in on you. You have to be ready to try and defend and hold people off.
Yeah, well, one of the other things, though, that we did see is some of those players who were aggressively defending, as they actually did leave their positioning, that was kind of when they did go down as well. One of those that I'm thinking of is Flamehopper. Flamehopper getting taken out relatively early in that first game, a lot of it coming down to the car actually flipping, but we're going to jump in right now with Rogue Sweet Dreams, getting out a couple of shots here and leaving the ATV behind for just a second. Has actually 2 ATVs at disposal.
Not a normally used place, but it's actually a pretty interesting one. He does have quite a few solid objects. He has a bush that he can use to hide in if he needs to, things that he can wrap around. He has a little bit of movement. He has a ridge line there right above him, so not a bad little spot to be able to hold, and a lot of people aren't going to try and come towards him. It's open field on all sides of him, so he's going to be able to see anybody coming towards him and make a quick escape on the ATV if he needs to.
Exactly. Taking a look right now, T-Hump going to be using this ridge to his full advantage. Has that cop car a little bit down. I'm not going to try to move that too far up here. With this safe zone that we've started to see now, we've gotten quite a decent look at it. We can see the gas is about to advance again in another minute and 20 seconds here. What do you expect the finish to look like? Last time we had that pretty hectic finish. Do you expect this to play out in a similar fashion?
Not quite as hectic as it did in the previous. It's going to be a little bit more evenly paced. We're going to probably see it pull into either the south side of PV or just barely the north edge of Cranberry still, and it'll have some open field and some trees. Or the option is that we pull fully into Spence Hills if it does go ahead and just continue to edge to the east side. And then we're going to see a lot of tree battles. So there's quite a bit of open field and then sporadic tree placement. So we'll see some guys throw down in trees. We'll see a couple open fields. We're going to see some cars explode for sure. That's probably what we're looking at for the end of this match.
The one thing that we can definitely see at this point is the loadout that a lot of these players are opting into, and the standard loadout has definitely changed recently, and definitely from DreamHack. A lot of players actually starting to have in their loadout have that throwable in that third slot, Jason.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of guys used to run the shotgun, AR, AK. Some of the guys still decide to go ahead and carry that and go shotgun, AR, throwable, but we are starting to see guys get rid of that third weapon and just go ahead and have the throwable ready to go all the time. It's a lot easier than having to go in, right-click, drop the weapon, swap the grenade into spot, and then once you run out of nades, you can easily open your inventory, double-click what the new nade is, whether you want to go to gas nade, smoke nade, whatever it is, and it will just replace it.
Yeah, the other thing with throwables now, too, is with this change, they're much easier to get out, so the speed that you can get them out if they are in your third slot is very noticeable. Some throwables coming out right now. We're going to see that in this fight. Jordy down in this fight, slightly catching up, and just like that, going to be able to take down Charles.
And that's what we were talking about. We were talking about guys that prefer shotgun versus AK or SMG in that slot. Jordy being the AK player, and the other guy, the other player coming in with a shotgun, able to do quicker peeks with that AK and just kind of start pre-firing as you come out so that your gun's already ramped up and able to get that peek on that left side to get the finish.
Exactly, and now the gas is advancing here. And with having those grenades, I do want to note the other change that does happen as well with the throwables in general is just the weight that has actually increased with them. So that's going to change the inventory and the way that that looks for these players quite a bit.
I mean, absolutely. The grenades used to weigh 10. They're now up to 100 units of weight. So when the change came and you could start throwing grenades faster, we caught on really quick that guys were sacrificing their ammo to carry like 30 nades and just nade spamming, and they made that change to go ahead and adjust for that. So now we see smoke nades. Everything costs a little bit more. So when you throw one out, it costs a lot more than it previously did. You're giving up a lot more. You can't carry quite as many.
Riki right near this drop. We'll have to see if Riki is going to be the one to contest this. There are quite a few power items that you can actually get from going for a play like this. One of them going to be that hunting rifle. You can also get 2 hits, and if you are prioritizing your vehicle very highly, sometimes you will find that gas tank inside, which can be absolutely huge. We are going to see Riki, though, moving straight past it. This location is relatively dangerous to go for. Maybe we see, yeah, it's very open. I feel like the only option you do really have is if you're going to throw a few smokes in, try to hide out in those smokes, snatch up those items before it dissipates, and hopefully get out in something like a vehicle.
It's still so open, though, that we saw Howie is up the mountain from him there. He would have line of sight down. He knows exactly where the smoke is. So you start aiming around that area and start putting shots a little bit left, a little bit right, and that hunting rifle is in there for med kits. Some of these guys may not have med kits or a waist pack yet. That's a big pickup there. That's a lot of healing. There's a lot of scrappy materials in there for the tan backpacks to make makeshifts. That is a really, really nice crate.
Yeah, that's one of the nicest crates I think that we have seen so far. So if a player can actually deal with how open this is, move over there, make a play, and try, like, look at this. There's just nothing. I mean, after you actually do get the loot, maybe you can move over to the trees and try to hide out there, but you can see the players aren't really trying to move towards it. It does seem like somewhat of a death wish. Jumping on shortly here with Huskers, can see up on the roof. We haven't seen too much roof play yet today in Legends. If you're just tuning in, this is our Legends tournament. This is all of the top players have been invited, 75 of them, to battle it out. 3 games. Whoever comes in first place, taking home a massive prize pool.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, $80,000 first place prize, so all these guys are definitely gunning for that $5,000 prize for a guy that gets the top kills in each match. We saw Chipsy take down that in the last game while taking down 3rd or 4th place as well. So setting himself up to try and go for the $80,000 while taking down $5 grand already today.
Chipsy's in such a decent spot. I mean, first player right now to guarantee money, right? Already has guaranteed that $5,000. Howie right now relatively close to that explosion. That comes in, but we are going to see it is Harry Frogbat and Stormin in a fight right here using this police car as cover is going to be Harry Frogbat. Looking to get some shots in. Stormin in a very good position, though, for this fight.
Yeah, both these guys have a similar type of cover, both of them using semis right now. Frogbat having to get out of that vehicle. It looks like Stormin has done quite a bit of damage to it. Both of them already with new makeshifts on. We keep talking about it, but they already have armors on again. These guys get recovered very, very quickly. They're very calm. They know exactly what to do in each situation. He does have a Jeep there, though, for Stormin that it looks to be in very, very good health, so he does have an option to get out of there if he needs to. He could drive it straight into the back, and here comes Harry Frogbat. He's going to go ahead and hop out. He's using that car to try and bait Stormin into taking a fight with him.
We are going to see Harry Frogbat. Even with all the baits that are going on, it looks like retreating is going to be the best scenario. Shots now coming into that vehicle. It is in that threshold area right now at 35. Pretty soon we're going to see a lot of handling be diminished, and Stormin going to follow up, trying to make sure that that car is in terrible condition here, trying to get it to degrade. It is about to catch on fire.
Yeah, his Jeep's not looking too good either. Harry Frogbat on his way out dropped a nade onto that Jeep, so Stormin's car now beat up quite a bit. So war of attrition, as we were talking about, Harry Frogbat's not going to leave with nothing for it. He's at least going to go ahead and take something away from Stormin.
I mean, they've both done a huge amount of damage to each other in that fight. I mean, you obviously, if you are new to watching H1Z1, you see their health bars being at full, but the amount of resources that were just exchanged in that fight was absolutely astronomical. So now when they do get in fights with other players, it is going to be crazy, and those fights are going to be happening really soon. We can see that the gas is advancing right now. When we actually do take a look at that safe zone, we have a lot of heads in not a lot of space. Real estate going to be absolutely prime. Isco inside of this Jeep, going to take a few shots here. Jeep not looking too healthy, and jumping on board with Teenage in a dire situation, going to throw out as many throwables as possible. Needs to play for life here.
Yeah, he needs to get those smoke nades down. He gets 2 out on each side. Gonna go ahead, lay down here, get some healing off. It looks like he was in an exchange with 50 Shades, and Aladdin may have jumped in to get on him as well. Adrian has gotten Kyreg's vehicle down to on fire point, so it's under 20%. Now under 10 as you see the fire catch on those back wheels. That thing is going to eat itself alive and explode here very shortly. So Kyreg going to be stuck on foot here. Loses his armor immediately. New armor on for Kyreg. So really quick swaps. These guys react to these things very quickly, and Isco is going to go down to a grenade from Grimmy Bear. Elsewhere on the map, as we are on board with Illusion, trying to get a final shot into Viva La Bag. Grenade into the smoke. We'll see if it's able to connect. Out comes another nade.
With the changes that we have actually seen to smokes, it is just a much thicker smoke. You cannot get any information out of there. You can't see in or out. And we've just seen so many grenades get traded into those smokes.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of where the meta's changed a little bit with the smoke nades. We saw the smokes at DreamHack. You can still kind of see a little bit every now and then because it kind of billowed out here and there, so there was dead pockets where you could see somebody moving. You cannot see people inside of smoke nades anymore. You can't see yourself inside of a smoke nade anymore. It's very disorienting. So these guys are going to start throwing in throwables and start trying to do zone denial in a sense. So they're going to throw in Molotovs. They're going to throw in gas nades if they can't figure out where they're at. A lot of times, though, you'll see players throw smoke nades down on a tree that they're at. We saw, I believe, Jordy doing that. And typically, these guys will sometimes find them still. They start shooting low for the player laying down, seeing if he's maybe laying to the left or right side of the tree. If you can find the top of the tree out of the smoke, you can kind of find a line to shoot at.
Yeah, I think that is a really big thing because there are a lot of reasons that you would want to throw it around a tree, right? Mm-hmm. You want to give yourself some additional cover so when the smoke does actually dissipate, you have a play. But that does give a serious amount of information to the player shooting into the smoke as well. Teenage, as we can see, has managed to get healthy here. Doesn't have any armor to work with, no makeshift. Rotating around right now, trying to find some additional resources. It actually just looks like going to try to hold this positioning here. We've actually seen Teenage holding quite a few positions like this throughout, but will potentially have to move soon as we do see gas closing in rapidly. What do we think of this potential finish? I mean, look how tight it is. We have just a little bit of Pleasant Valley and just a little bit of Spence Hills.
Yeah, it's gonna start pulling out. It's gonna start centering. We're gonna have a little bit of Spence Hills at the end. We're most likely gonna pull just outside of PV. There's some trees there just south of PV that'll be within the safe zone. There's a little bit of Spence Hills that'll be in the safe zone. There's a lot of dead pockets, so we're gonna see a lot of tree fights. We're gonna start seeing those smoke nades come down. People start using Molotovs to deny spots. So sometimes you'll throw a Molotov out to the left of somebody, and then you start shooting at the right side. You're forcing the direction that the other player has to go. Radic now getting his car absolutely lit up by Stormin. Stormin trying to find some shots, gets one into Radic. Radic immediately gets a smoke nade down so that he can go ahead and get away and get behind that rock and get some cover. I don't believe there's anybody above him, not that has an angle. Hail Blood Inferno would be the closest one to get a shot from the top. Actually, 50 Shades may have one here shortly. As he's listening to these shots go off, he's starting to somewhat move towards it.
Yeah, you start to get a lot of information from that as well, and that was something that we were speaking to just a little bit in that first game. Teenage actually going to be brought down right now by Rhino, but one of the things that we started to allude to is just how important that information is going to be, and these players are going to be using all of it that is available to them. One of the big things to note is they're going to be paying attention to that kill feed, because not only does that signify a player going down, but it means a player just got out of a fight. So just like that, you can try to jump in and try to clean up that kill. Dropped, gonna pick up another kill here. We saw Drop being a pretty big slayer in that last match. Grimmy Bear brought down as well by Flame.
I mean, he definitely showed up, getting 6 kills, almost getting the 7 kill, which would have got it, but unfortunately got taken down by Chipsy and denied that $5,000 prize for the last game. But we're seeing him get some kills here early. He might end up getting some more kills here towards the end. Maybe he can pick up the $5,000 this round, and we are going to hear that bomb plane coming in overhead right now, and it is going to be right next to Aladdin. Aladdin knowing where the plane is and where the airdrop is. So interesting thing with that is that on the airdrop as it comes in, the bombs start right where the airdrop is. So if you can figure out what direction the plane's coming from and run towards the plane off of the airdrop, typically you're going to be safe.
We will see right now all of these players spread out decently here, but none of them having huge amounts of cover, mostly trying to use either trees or use the terrain, but not too many POIs here to really use to your advantage. Stormin right now has these smokes down. Looks like he may be in a fight with Radic from Echo Fox.
Yeah, Radic here a little bit lower than Stormin. It looks like Stormin is ahead in that fight, has him down to about 40%, but we are going to hop on board with Prox for a minute here. Looks like he's got himself some decent little trees, just hanging out, trying to find somebody, and Stormin is going to get that finish onto Radic elsewhere on the map and going to take him out. Looks like Radic did put a bit of damage into Stormin, though. He does need to get healed up, but already has that makeshift back on. So one of the things that you'll see these guys do, I was just talking about it, but we didn't state this yet, he throws the makeshift on before he heals because that will eat a bullet for him. That will keep him alive longer to be able to roll healing if he is shot at.
Yeah, we've seen interesting uses of those. Ooh, body armor going to be popped off here for CBK Flame, going to move back to this tree, trying to get some shots into Prodigy Aces, knowing the location of that player. Potential pinch could come in, though, here. Prodigy Aces is going to take 2 of those shots, healing back up, trying to use cover 2 full advantage. T-Hump going to get out a few shots as well into that vehicle.
He's been in the same spot for a while now. We've seen him holding this. It doesn't look like it looks like his car is maybe taking a little bit more damage. It is down in the 49 region. Still fairly healthy though. He's still got the boost on the car. He's lost a little bit of handling. Jordy was in an exchange with him. Riki here has some healing. It's not going to get him all the way to full. He's trying to run along the edge of the gas though. Needs to get out farther. He's going to get his healing rolling now. He doesn't have that much toxicity built on him quite yet, so he should be able to get enough healing to be able to run out and stay stable.
Keebler and Landon are right inside of this building. The first one to move is going to reveal the location if these players do not know where each other are at yet. Steps are going to be coming in here, but we are going to see Keebler dipping, getting out of that house. Landon not deciding to take this one. We'll have to see if Landon does decide to move out, but it seems like Landon has a pretty good location there. He doesn't want to move out of that building. He's down to take that short-range fight. Storming going to be brought down by Crank here. Then Gabizmon following suit. Nice shots coming in to Rizar. We saw Rizar really shine in the last one. Trying to keep this cover here. Nightwalker is going to fall down right now. The kill feed's starting to come alive here. Just like that, we are going to see another one as well. Only 58 players do remain, and the gas is about to advance again in just 2 short minutes. At that point, the powder keg will really erupt.
I mean, right now we're starting to see kind of what I was talking about with the safe zone. We are going to see this play at a more consistent pace rather than the explosion all at once. We're going to lose players a little bit sooner, and it's going to stay paced from here going in towards the end of the game. We're going to lose moment to a shotgun there too. We're really surprised that when we were on Linden that we didn't see him try and take that. Linden, a player that really, at least online during the streams, loves the shotgun. Goes in for a lot of shotgun kills. Kevy going to get taken out by Symphony. Elsewhere on the map, Symphony here getting healed up at about 56%. Already has that makeshift on again, like we talked about, trying to keep himself stable as long as he can to heal. Aladdin getting shots lined up on him by Flame. Flame not taking it. Flame actually looking to try and steal this airdrop possibly.
This is one of the things that the airdrops have just been in exposed locations time and time again. It's been really difficult to try to get them going.
That was really interesting. I was expecting Flame to take it, but Aladdin staying mobile that whole time. Flame didn't feel like he was going to be able to just do a quick, crisp, clean 2-tap. He was waiting for that opportunity on Aladdin to stop for just a split second to just take him out. The opportunity was never there, so he ends up just letting that one go.
And you have to admire that discipline. I mean, the main thing is you have a game plan. Sometimes it doesn't work out exactly how you think it is going to, so you need to adapt. Obviously, you want to be able to get something that's inside that crate. We've seen just countless items in there that can really change the momentum of the entire game for you. Crank going to take some bad shots here. Needs to try to move back. Going to have to invest that smoke. Looking back over, trying to get a line on the opponent that was able to bring him down. CBK Flame already does have the packs rolling here, trying to get that healing rolling.
Yeah, Howie going to get taken out by Sweet Dreams here. Sweet with an easy kill, getting tagged up a bit though from 50 Shades. Going to throw down that smoke nade down to 27%. Needs to get the heal off. Kyrake elsewhere gets a grenade kill onto Bizarre. Mountain FPS going to get taken out by Mini with an AK. We see Memo making the jump to try and get up on this roof. We saw him doing this last game in the Carnival wheel, hanging out on top of the roof of the building over there where he netted himself a few kills. This one doesn't have a very good ridge on the top of the roof though, so there's not really a spot to like lay down and get good cover. I don't expect him to stay there that long, and now we're going to jump over to Flame Hopper. Yeah, looks like he's rolling must be crafting something.
Mini actually is going to be taken down right now off screen. Flame Hopper taking a serious amount of shots here, probably slightly disappointed with the amount of placement that he did get last time, going to throw out a smoke here after taking quite a bit of damage. Getting in here, going to try to get that healing rolling. Rizar now taking some damage on this ATV, relatively exposed, but should be able to get out of dodge without a problem by using this smoke. But just like that, we are going to actually see a collapse coming in on him.
Do you see him move off the tree, though? He recognizes that the players are going to recognize or be able to identify where he's at or most likely at. So he goes ahead and throws the smoke, then backs off the tree actually into the open side of the smoke to try and get off of that. So good decision to try and move to not let somebody pre-fire you. We are going to lose Doug is Raw, Era, Carta, Keebler, and Adrian all. shots are just going out. This is pacing really fast right now. Everybody trying to find a spot, and we're just seeing players drop left and right. Drop Kid getting the kill onto Aqua.
Just like that, too. Yeah, we actually do see in that fight as well, going down with a few trades there, but just like this, absolutely lighting up is the kill feed. 10K going to go down, and players just choking on the gas as well. There's just nowhere that is safe on this map. Only 31 players do remain. Rizar is going to be moving throughout here, trying to take this fight at close range. Weaving in and out of the trees is going to be 50 Shades. Connecting with Rizar, your champion from the last game, will go down right here as player number 31. And you can see in that northern part of your screen just a cluster of players.
Yeah, absolutely, and we can see the safe zone as I was talking about. There's some clusters of trees here and there, but there's a lot of open field, so you've got to start making these plays to try and take a position. If you are not currently at one of the trees where you have some hard cover to use, you need to get out of there, and we are on board with Monster here, who was looking for boxes in the smoke, unable to find him. Boxes laying down in there, trying to get some heals off. Chipsy now coming up over the top in a fight here with Linden, gonna drop a smoke nade over himself. Chipsy, who showed up, took down that $5,000 last round, has 1 kill right now. Not sure if he can go from 1 kill and get enough of them to take down the second match with another 5K, but he could leave out of here if he does it again with 10.
And we're already down to 25 here, definitely coming alive, and bam, Memo gonna come up right behind JP2, take that kill. Cloak inside of the woods right now, going to try to get his crisp shots out from behind these trees, keeping an eye right now onto, maybe he's gonna try to go in for Memo, knowing the location of Memo, seeing in the kill feed. It seems like a smart play, but now Cloak going to play this tree just a little bit more, rotate around, jumping back on board with Boxes. Haven't gotten to see much from Boxes yet, but we do see that sharp shot coming out right now. Oh, a beautiful kill coming in from Hurrah.
Yeah, Hurrah comes through the back. Geesh, attention elsewhere, and Hurrah makes the quick play to come in with the AK. 50 Shades gonna get taken out by a grenade from Sweet Dreams here. Sweet on the press. Rogue gonna take out Jerk Chicken there with a gas nade on the assist from MiG-99. Sweet Dreams, that player that took down DreamHack Atlanta. Boxes now in a bit of a pinch here, trying to find the shots onto Harry Frogbat. Molotov out. He is gonna get pinched out in 20th. Monster getting the shot into the side.
Harry Frogbat, though, is just so low. If anyone does collapse there, we may see him go down. Sweet Dreams going to lose the helmet there, instantly gets another one on, puts a few shots into the car, and follows up, taking down Rogue from World's Best. Jumping on board with T-Hump, he will go down to Cloak. Cloak was playing that tree very well, still very healthy in this fight, going to be able to engage yet again. Coming on board with Monster, weaving in and out of the gas here, just trying to stay alive frantically. Solo on the ATV with no cover is going to be a prime target. Shots coming in from the smoke. Mig letting a few rain out here. Rogue Sweet Dreams going down to Zeeth. Mig going to just take this smoke, try to use this here, get the healing rolling. Cloak just absolutely so low, bleeding out. Will he be able to heal up? We're going to see him fall down to Memo, maybe opting to take that fight after seeing in the kill feed that one was going down, maybe trying to get that pinch, but it does not work out. And in the left-hand corner of your screen, you're going to see 3 players in a smoke, and on the right, the same situation. Zeeth actually moving out of the smoke, playing to the outside, just misses that player, does not know that he is there, going to run to the other smoke, probably sees Rhino to the right, moving back around, just trying to rotate, find the other player in the smoke. It's going to be Mig. Who's going to see each other first? We have our top 10. Who is going to go down next? Zeeth looking through this smoke, still does not see his man, going to drop another one there as well. Mig sees him for just a second, tries to put some shots in. Zeeth finally going to be privy to Mig's location, tries to get some shots out. Both are healthy. Pineapples chokes out to this toxic gas, but the fight still isn't over. Zeeth going to see Rhino and then back into the smoke yet again.
Does Zeeth know that he's actually fighting 2 different players right now? Mig is right behind him healing up. He's trying to throw gas nades at the other player. I don't think that he knows that there's 2 separate guys here. He's right in the smoke with Mig. They're right on top of each other. We can barely see him. Mig gonna put some shots into the back of Zeeth. Zeeth down to 32 here and is now behind. He was well ahead, but Mig was able to heal up, standing right next to him as he fought another player.
Mig stayed in the smoke. Zeeth was decided to weave in and out quite a bit. Now Zeeth finds himself behind. We're going to see that bang come out right here. Will the space be closing just like that? Zeeth gets the shots in, stays up, and is able to take down Mig from so far behind.
Rhino The second player finally comes in, and it finally plays out. The player that waited out won it. We're going to lose Chipsy here in 5th or 6th place there to Memo. YT 2-tap Keen going to go down to Rhino. We've got Memo now taking some long-range shots onto Apex Shay. Apex Shay, vehicle getting eaten up, taking a few hits. Going to throw out a smoke nade here for Hurrah to protect his right side as he takes the fight to Apex Shay.
We have our top 4. Apex Shay seems to be in the most dire situation here. Going to jump out of the Jeep right to his death. Hurrah, taking him out. Top 3, Memo looking for the fight here. We've seen Memo be an absolute pivotal member of all of these engagements. Rotating around here, sees Rhino. Rhino going to let the shots out into the Jeep. Rhino in an incredible position, only been taking smart fights so far. Going to get into the police car, try to get out of the bad situation. Going to come right in with the rush here. Moving into the smoke though instead. Just going to keep rotating around, not going to take a fight that could spell defeat here, going to use the cover from the car. We see that helmet get popped off, but now we are on board with Memo. Memo letting the shots out to Rhino. Rhino inside of the smoke right now. This is an absolute crazy scenario to have. All 3 of these members are in their respective corners, each having a decent amount of cover, but soon the smokes will run out and only one will be left standing.
Yeah, it's going to be open field. It's going to pull to the middle, so they're going to have to move, but Memo is going to go down finally to Hurrah. So now it is Hurrah versus Rhino. Rhino and Hurrah both looking very, very intensely at their monitors. They are focused in, and we've got Rhino well behind in this fight. Hurrah might decide to go ahead and make the push here. He is trying to make it, getting the throwable out. Not going to be able to connect. Rhino with another smoke nade down. He's going to fire through the smoke, and he finds Hurrah. Rhino with the shots through the smoke to take down game 2.
Hurrah was about 2 shots up there, and just like that, Rhino is going to come out on top, closing this one out, and that is going to be massive. A huge amount of points gained there, but first we will have to give out our 5K bonus. It's going to be 6 kills again. This seems to be a pretty consistent number here. Chipsy manages to edge out with 7 this time, but Sweet Dreams going to be able to take that. How on earth did some of those kills come in? Let's take a look at the results to see how all of this did shake out after that action coming in at the end. Rhino on top with such an impressive finish. Hurrah going to be in 2nd place, and we can see right now the kills are going to be 4 for our top 3 players. So all of them slaying out a decent amount, but Sweet Dreams was able to pick up 6.
Yeah, absolutely. So Sweet going off of that 6 kills, going to net that.
And now we have Rhino on. I cannot wait to hear what Rhino has to say after that finish. Kelly, take it away.
Everyone give it up for Rhino on that game, right? Dude, that last kill was so intense. Tell me what was running through your mind.
I seen that he just got the pick on the last guy, and I didn't know if he was weak or not, so I wanted to get on the hill, see if I could get an angle on him, and we were firing. He hit me a few times, got me down to 33 health. So I was kind of nervous there, and then I seen that he kept pushing, but I hit him twice when he hit me, so I knew he was low, and then he just went for it, so I had like position because the little hill there, so he needs in the open, and we almost traded. It was close. It was close.
That was super close, man. Going into the 3rd game, do you have any other strategies that you're going to pull out right now, or are you just going to keep playing like you have been?
Keep playing like I have been. I mean, I've been getting pretty lucky with smokes and stuff. I feel like that's the biggest thing in here, finding the smoke grenades and getting a car. I ended up running through a field, found like the first campsite I went to, found a quad, and then from there I was just like happy because I had smokes, vehicle. I'm like, okay. Yeah.
So going into the 3rd game, is there someone that you're making sure that you, like, if you find him, you're knocking him out so that you could win this game?
Yeah, anybody that plays top 10 in either this one and the last one, if I seen like Sweet or Drop Kid placed in this one top 10 again, then probably them. Anybody that's has potential top 10.
All right, man, before I send you off into game 3, is there anything you want to say to people watching at home?
Hi, Mom.
Thanks, man. Good luck and good luck into game 3. Guys, don't go anywhere. We have the finals for the Invitational of the Legends coming up right now.
That's a really important way to think as well. We here in the interview going to try